Hey guys, we are live. Welcome to another episode of 20 Minutes in Lockdown. Hope you guys are having a good day wherever you are. Hope you're wearing a damn mask. It's not that hard. And someone said, why do you get so political? Bitch, if you think asking you to wear a mask is political, you got much, much bigger problems. Yeah. So, right? Okay, so Kris Denhert's here, and Randall T is joining the stream. There he is. There's Randall walking all around. Looking good. How are you, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Awesome. So welcome to 20 Minutes in Lockdown, both of you, and to my audience, welcome as well. You guys did something really cool. When you were brought to my attention, I'm like, that's a smart idea. I love it. So tell us, so Dugout Mugs, tell us about how it came up, because, you know, I've played baseball occasionally, not very well, mostly softball. Mostly as a catcher because I don't run. But tell me about how you guys came up with the concept of, you know, you look at a baseball bat and said, hey, I can drink out of this.
Yeah, 2014, around this time in 2014, I was coaching college baseball, and the hitting coach at the school that I was coaching at was cutting baseball bats in half with a handsaw. He was creating some sort of training tool for his hitters. And there was a bunch of loose bat barrels just sitting around in the dugout. And I took a look at it and kind of examined it and just had a light bulb moment that you could probably drill it out and drink from it.
That's awesome. And is it because you were in college and you're like, hey, I need something to hold my beer? Or was it?
No.
You were in a training and, you know, teaching. So.
Yeah, it was a few years after I got out of college. No, I don't know. I mean,
I don't say that in a bad way. I mean, I think anything holding your beer is a good thing. Right?
Yeah. You know, there was no real thought behind it. It was just kind of a light bulb moment and an idea that just hit me. I guess I don't really. When I trace back the steps of things, I didn't really put much thought into it, other than it just kind of popped up in my head.
Those are the best kind of ideas, though. I find that when you create something that you're like, man, I should do this. Right. The problem is that 99% of the ideas that come out or that never make it don't make it because they're necessarily bad ideas. Some are, but the majority of ideas that don't succeed usually don't succeed because people didn't act on it. Right. Yeah. They say, oh, that'll never work, or, you know, that no one will ever buy that, or I'm sure it's been done. Right. And yet, you know, you find out like something like this, it hasn't. Yeah. So talk about the process of how you said, okay, this seems like a good idea in terms of going to a company, because this seems like the kind of thing that that you live and die with partnerships, you live and die with brand, you know, being able to go to the teams and say, hey, we're doing this and things like that. Is that difficult? And we'll get to doing that in a COVID-19 environment. But, you know, prior to that, when you started out, what was your concept? Like, we're just going to go to the teams and ask them if we can license it?
I'll jump in on that one. I mean, I figured we'd get aggressive, right? So Randall had come up with the idea, and we proved a concept internally. And all I did was, you know, we were like, hey, let's make a case study of ourselves and all the people that really like and use our product. And we just reverse engineered it. So we created so much buzz about what we were doing that we then took that information to the license and said, hey, listen, you guys are leaving a lot of money on the table. You should let us we started with the MLB PA. Tim over there has been an awesome guy to work with, you know. So we started there, and we crushed. And immediately we took our information over to MLB, and they said, yeah, we're good. We don't need any more drinkware. I said, well, check out our numbers with the PA, and, you know, let us know if you change your mind. And so, again, that's kind of how we went after it. We have never doubted ourselves and our ability to move this product, and we just positioned it in a way that these other licensee, or, you know, the licensors and brands and teams, you know, it was almost like, do you want it? Or it was more like, how can you not have this? I
see them behind you. Can you hold one up? Show the viewers what we're looking at. So basically, they're mugs.
Right? We'll go with Mariano Rivera.
I'm a Mets fan, but it's okay. I've learned to accept.
Well, the 7-line Army, man, those guys are great. Darren over there. If you're Mets fans, you know, Darren's cool. But so it's wait, where are we at?
Yeah,
we hollow out the barrel of a baseball bat, and it sits up. You know, it's 12 ounces of awesomeness. And a lot of them, people are like, oh, I don't drink or I won't use it. So, we had a lot of people autograph them. All these are autographed in the back. Big Poppy, Nolan Ryan, guys like that. So they're a really cool piece for a desk or an office or a gift or something like that. So it's a cup for sure, and it's practical for sure. You can throw it in your pocket and take it to a tailgate all day long, but it's kind of multifaceted what people can do with them, which is, I think, part of the reason we were able to grow like we have too, because it's great as an anniversary gift. I think it's 5 years as wood. So it's a great anniversary gift. It's a great office gift, things like that.
What is it like? I mean, so when you came up with the concept, you started selling them. You're in an industry where if you want it, you can buy it. If you want to put a logo on it, you can buy it, right? I mean, even in collegiate sports, I mean, the amount of stuff I have from my alma mater at BU. My kid was in a BU, onesie before she could talk, right? There's nothing out there you can't buy. So what did you do? Because there are a lot of entrepreneurs watching. What did you do to sort of differentiate yourself and say, hey, this isn't just like a tumbler. This isn't just a mug. This isn't just a coffee cup, things like that. Because I'm guessing until you started making the connections and people started realizing the value of the product, you had to sell it. You had to go in and pitch it, right? So what were you doing that made people look at you differently, or what were you saying? How were you capturing their attention when they're swamped by, 50,000 sales guys trying to sell, obviously not the same thing, but trying to sell their product?
You want me to handle that around, or you want to?
I can touch on it, and you can round it out.
Because you sold them before we even got together, a handful of them, So
yeah, I think ultimately, I guess I can't speak of selling any other product, but it's been relatively. We just have to share it with people, and people want to be part of it. We call it the Dugout Mug Effect. I don't know if there's any sort of logical reason behind it other than, the market, I think, just tells people pretty quickly whether it's going to work or it's not going to work. When Kris and I first linked up, there was early signs that it was going to work. Kris had an understanding of how to make things work at a much bigger level. But I think if it works on the smaller level, if you keep replicating what you're doing, but just at a larger scale, it's just going to work. So I don't know. I think just sharing it, getting enough people to know about it is really, and then the market will tell you exactly whether it's going to work or not.
How are you advertising it? How are you promoting it currently?
Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Google.
So easy, basic ads.
Yeah.
And then, we are, we're currently in about 110 different locations, major league stadiums, minor league stadiums. Unfortunately, we know what's going on with all that, but major and minor league stadiums for sure. We've linked up back when Steiner Sports. We briefly talked about that. He's up in New York. Brandon's a great dude. Steiner Rally House, Olympia, Hy-Vee. So there's a lot of groups that sell our product and resell our product as well. So yeah, there's a lot of penetration that way as well. But our bread and butter is online marketing, because that's just what we're good at.
And so you're doing Google ads, Facebook ads, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, things like that. What's your best outlet? Would you say it's Instagram, Facebook?
Facebook. Yeah.
So Facebook as the product, or Facebook as the company with Instagram and everything underneath it?
Facebook and Facebook.
Just Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. It fits our demo.
So you're targeting like the sporting groups on there, baseball groups, things like that.
Yeah. And we're at a certain level now that we can take our customer list and create lookalike audiences,
right?
And it taps into audiences that you otherwise wouldn't get to with these kind of standard Facebook groups.
A lot of people don't realize the power of the lookalike audience. That's probably one of the out of all the horrible things Facebook has done, that's probably one of the least horrible things that Facebook has done, in the respect that they created this tool that allows you to take your audience demographics and basically build that out. So if you have an email list of 20,000 people who like baseball, they'll give you another 200,000 who have those same demographics, and that's huge. Are you learning from your customers? One of the things that I talk on the customer experience a lot. I go on TV a lot about that, and I speak on that. And one of the things that I try to teach my clients is that if you listen to your audience, if you take the time, hear what they say, take their feedback, take their advice. I mean, there's not much you can do with the mugs in that regard, but I'm assuming they're giving you, do they email you and say, hey, what if we did, what if you did this? What if you started getting, I want this person's signature on a mug or whatever. And what's your audience interaction like?
Well, I can say that this year and just about every year before now, we've been extremely passionate about customer service and customer experience, from offering lifetime guarantees on our products all the way up, everything in between. We've sent out surveys to our group. Where did you buy it? Why did you buy it? Who did you buy it for? Would you get it again? Was it too expensive? Not. And it's really allowed us to kind of dial in what people want, because at the end of the day, without the customers, the company's nothing. We're a great company because of the tribe that we've built around us, I think.
In addition to that, Kris and I have spent a lot of time under a tent in the early stages of this company, selling mugs to people at tent or at baseball tournaments, and we 100% sit there and we listen to what they say, and there's a common theme that shows up in their objections or their questions, and we've designed things from marketing to imagery that speaks to those objections to help with our conversion rate.
What kind of objections do you get? Like what were people hating about it?
I guess more so confusion. Never seen the product before, not really quite understanding what's going on with it. Can I actually pour something into it? Can I actually drink from it? Does the bottle go into the mug?
Like a wooden koozie.
World's most expensive wooden koozie, right? So, what do you think? Or why do you think, I should ask you, you're in a customer-facing business. Why do you think that so many businesses get customer service wrong?
I have a couple opinions on that. I mean, they're too short-sighted in particular. I don't think anybody's focusing down the road far enough. That's certainly one of them. It's more about how can I get an extra $10 on a sale now,
right? Exactly.
I get 3 additional sales after this, and it's good to be transparent. I don't think they're transparent. There's too much bullshit in a lot of companies, and they're too busy trying to hide it. And the transparency, it becomes secretive. And I don't know. I believe that it's a relationship, right? Honestly, we have a relationship with a lot of our clients. There's been times where things weren't going right. Randall personally, or I've personally delivered mugs to another city across the state. Wow. Because it was for a wedding or something like that. We do a lot of live. We're people behind a company. The company is what we do. We still are who we are. Whether we're on this podcast or you meet me in the street or you see us at an event, like it's the same guys. So it's a lot of consistency and transparency. And I don't think a lot of companies have the ability to do that or the personalities to do that. So I think they get a lot of customer service wrong, and they hang on to the wrong people too long. I know I've had a handful of different companies, and one of the things I was taught a long time ago is how costly it can be to hold on to the wrong person too long. Correct. And because people's inability to hire and fire and ask the right questions and properly train, you end up with half-ass employees, and then that just rolls downhill. So those are a couple thoughts.
That's the Peter principle, the concept that every employee will rise to his or her highest level of inoperability, right? So they'll or incompetence. They'll get to as good as they can, and the companies make mistakes when the person gets to the point, he does a good job, he gets promoted, does a good job, he gets promoted, does a good job, he gets promoted. At the fourth promotion, he doesn't do a good job. He doesn't get demoted. He just sort of sits there, and that's how bureaucracy forms.
Yeah. Right.
Because now you have someone at that high level who's not working, and no one bothers to say, hey, you're not doing this, it might be time to put you down a peg. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the major teams, have you ever thought of it?
We have MLB, minor league, Hall of Fame, and the MLB Players Association.
Wow. So how many different, I guess how many different SKUs do you have? But how many, you started with like one mug. How many mugs? What's the word I'm trying to say? How many products are there now within the business? Each, you know what I mean, right?
So sorry
about that.
I guess we have 4 major products, maybe 5. and then we're able to engrave or print on each one of these products. So there's multiple SKUs, but there's 5 major products: the Dugout Mug, the barrel of a baseball bat drinking mug, the Wind Up, which is a mini baseball bat wine glass. I don't have one. Oh, here it is. With mini baseball bat wine glass. The Knob Shot, which is a knob of a baseball bat turned into a shot glass. And then the Season Opener, which is the handle of a baseball bat turned into a bottle opener. And a cutter. We take a baseball, cut it in half, and turn it.
Where are your production facilities?
Right here in Winter Haven. It is where a majority of the manufacturing happens.
All right, let's turn to current events. How are you guys surviving through COVID, both personally and so far as the company?
Go ahead, Kris.
A lot of inspiration. I think again, the company's only going to be as strong as its people and its fans and customers. So I think we agreed to double and triple down on painting the picture and reminding people that like this is just a hiccup. We're going to do our thing. We practice all kinds of safety procedures at the warehouse. We actually hired 8 people last month.
Wow.
So for the rest of our team, everywhere they look and hear anything, it's negative in a lot of ways, especially if you turn on the TV. To see us grow, to see us exponentially grow, add 30% more staff. I mean, it's really inspiring. So there's that. And then, whenever all this first went down, there was a single day that Randall and I were like, oh shit, what's going on? We quickly, we sat down, we put our head together, and I've always believed in thinking around the problem. So that's what we did. We executed, we actually lined up about 7 different sales strategies and ideas on how we can give back. We've worked with, the deal I got coming up with Mariano Rivera next week, raising money for charities and different events and things like that. And we just started executing in that way. And we came to an agreement that if whatever we had to do as a company to sacrifice the company to continue to grow our people, take care of our customers, put product into the market, we would do that. So we were running a lot of 30% discounts and offers because people need a break right now. Right. So a lot of that kind of stuff is how we were able to kind of survive the lockdown and just keep people's spirits up until baseball came back.
Which I hope to see myself at Shea sometime soon. It has been way too long since I have been to a game, and that desperately needs to change. But awesome, guys! Thank you so much for taking the time. It's dugoutmugs.com, right?
Correct.
And I strongly recommend you go and check them out. This stuff is very, very cool. I'm ordering a few. I will be. I can imagine they make perfect birthday gifts. That's just the easiest thing in the world.
We hooked you guys up too. I wanted to tell you live. So we did Lockdown 30 is 30% off site wide.
Love it.
So anybody in your tribe or that's watching this, we'll probably run it to the end of the month till the season opens up, because then we got to kind of reconfigure some things. But Lockdown 30 as a discount code will save 30% off.
Kick ass. Yeah. Very cool. I'm gonna share that with my my email audience as well. Very, very cool. Awesome. Guys, thank you so much. Kris and Randall, I really appreciate you guys taking the time. Have a great day. Stay safe, wear a mask, and I'll have you guys back again once we come out of this nightmare, all right?
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, you guys stay safe. Stay safe. Bye-bye.